The day everything changed, May 30th, 2014, 10 a.m., Richard Dowdell woke up in his mobile home near Lake Simcoe. He had not been taking the medications that helped manage his mental health. Without them, his thoughts were disorganized, and he believed he was hearing voices. That morning, he prayed often and tried to steady his mind, but the confusion remained. He smoked hashish, something he had used regularly for years. 11 a.m. When he returned to the mobile park, his behavior became noticeably unusual. His eyes looked distant and he was sweating. He told the neighbor that he believed he had been sent by God to deal with a woman in the park, someone he said was a customer. Then he walked away. He saw another neighbor shortly after and asked if they could talk later. She would later describe him as acting strange and not like himself, like something had shifted in his personality. Yvonne Brooks' final act of kindness. Just before 12 p.m., Yvonne Brooks was in her yard tending to her garden. She was 81 years old, full of warmth, and loved taking care of her home. The garden gave her peace, and she enjoyed helping others in the community. Richard walked up and asked if he could have a glass of water. Yvonne kindly said yes and invited him inside, something she would have done for anyone. That would be the last time she was seen alive. Inside the home, shortly after they entered, Richard suddenly acted on his confused and delusional thoughts. He attacked Yvonne inside her home. He later told police that he didn't fully understand why he did it, only that something in his mind told him it had to be done. Yvonne tried to get away, but due to her age and health, she couldn't defend herself. At one point during the attack, Richard picked up a heavy decorative rock from inside the home and used it to cause more harm. He also had a small kitchen knife in his possession, but it was not the main cause of her injuries. Later, Richard said it took several minutes before everything stopped. He claimed he didn't want her to suffer, but the actions he took had already caused serious and irreversible harm. The call for help. Once the home was silent, Richard sat down and picked up the phone. 12 p.m. he called 911. "I took someone's life with a rock," he said calmly. He couldn't recall her name, but he told the dispatcher he would wait for police. Minutes later, officers arrived and found him sitting in the home, holding a towel. When they asked what happened, he replied, "I ended her life. I'm tired. The will is done, Father. I will go to jail. My task is done." Then he dropped to his knees and began crying. He was arrested at the scene without resistance. At the police station. At the station, Richard spoke to himself for hours. He seemed confused but calm. He didn't ask for a lawyer at first. Instead, he made several statements. "I've done a great wrong and I'm truly sorry. She never did anything to me. I don't need a lawyer. I'm guilty, that's all there is to it. Forgive me, God." He told the full story to police, step by step. He admitted everything. The kitchen knife was not used in a fatal way, though it was part of the scene. The courtroom, the day of the sentence. Everyone sat quietly in the courtroom. The judge, Madam Justice Furst, was about to decide what would happen to Richard Dowdell. She listened carefully to both sides of the case before making her decision. What the government lawyers said. Two lawyers, Ms. Curry and Ms. Alexander, spoke on behalf of Yvonne Brooks and her family. They said, Yvonne was a kind 81-year-old woman. She had invited Mr. Dowdell into her home to help him. She didn't do anything wrong and didn't deserve what happened. They asked the judge to make sure that Mr. Dowdell would stay in prison for at least 12 to 14 years before he could ask for release. But they also said that Mr. Dowdell admitted everything right away. He was honest with the police. He showed that he was sorry. What Mr. Dowdell's lawyer said. Mr. Dowdell's lawyer, Ms. Fromstein, told the judge, Mr. Dowdell had a long history of mental health problems. He had never tried to hide what he did. He called 911 himself. He was truly sorry and wanted to take responsibility. She said he should be allowed to ask for release after 12 years. That what the doctor said. A doctor named Dr. Helen Ward studied Mr. Dowdell's mental health. She said, he was likely going through a serious mental health episode when it happened. His mind wasn't working clearly. She didn't believe he was pretending. She said he needs mental health care medication programs to help him stay calm, and he should never use drugs again. What Yvonne's family said. Yvonne's family sent letters to the judge. They said she was the heart of their family. She was kind, strong, and full of love. She always made holidays special. Now that she's gone, they don't have the same family gatherings. Her home feels empty and sad. They miss her every day. What the judge said. Judge Furst said this was a very serious case. She explained, Yvonne was a kind older woman. She let Mr. Dowdell into her home to be helpful. She had no way to protect herself. What happened was very wrong. But the judge also said, Mr. Dowdell pleaded guilty and saved the family from going through a long trial. He had a history of mental health problems. He showed that he was truly sorry. He worked with police and didn't try to escape or hide what happened. She believed he wasn't thinking clearly at the time and that he needed help. The sentence. The courtroom became very quiet. Judge Fierce looked at Mr. Dowdell and said, "Please stand." Then she gave her sentence. "You are going to prison for life. You can't ask for parole for 12 years. She also added, he must give a DNA sample. He can't own or use any weapons, not for 10 years, and in some cases, not ever. He can't have any contact with Yvonne's family. His sentence would officially start from the day it happened, May 30th, 2014. Then she said softly, "You may sit down."